This episode of the House of L is brought to you by Ferris Wheel Press and their new line of Superman ink and fountain pens centered around James Gunn's new film. Head to ferriswheelpress.com and select any Superman item from their collection and use the code HouseofL10 to receive 10% off. That's ferriswheelpress.com. Welcome back to the House of L. My guest today is my special friend? That's what they call people when you're old and you become a widower, but then you find somebody else to spend time with. I don't know if that's a UK thing or not. That's a US thing.
No, yeah, we get one of those. My granddad had a few of them.
Always in the obituary. And special friend, Luke Bugg.
Yes.
Luke, how are you, buddy?
I am good, sir. Thank you very much for having me back to talk about our favorite topics.
Mission Impossible Final Reckoning?
Yes. For those that get that joke.
Now.
Yes, it's great.
I'm going to go for the hat trick before it's all over with.
Do it.
We are here to talk about an announcement that came just 24 hours ago, dropped on a random Wednesday, as things when you're 5 weeks out from New York Comic Con, why not just throw up random things on Instagram a month out instead of having a big unveil? Yeah, Man of Tomorrow, which is not evidently a Superman sequel.
Yes, you just dropped that bombshell on me. I got home from work, yesterday when the news dropped, I was at work. And my head's been spinning ever since, going through my comics, going through my toys that I will get to, because I brought props along for this chat, Derek. Man of Tomorrow. But now you tell me that it's not necessarily a Superman sequel.
Okay, well, he has said from the get-go on this that he was working on the next chapter of the Superman family saga, him being Gunn, and that news would come sooner rather than later on what that installment will be post Supergirl.
Okay.
So he's been adamant that it is not a Superman sequel. Like, people have said, like, what are you going to be doing in Superman 2? And I think one of his quotes was, you would have to ask somebody who's doing Superman 2. All these different amalgamations of answers that have pretty much stated that whatever the next installment or story is going to be, that it will be ensemble in some capacity, and will feature our Superman player characters, but I think pull from the rest of the DCU toy box as well. Moments ago, as we began recording, I did see he posted on Threads, somebody said, is this film Superman Man of Tomorrow? To which he said, no. This is not a Superman sequel. It is another chapter in the DCU containing Superman characters, but it is not a follow-up to, I don't guess, in any different way than Supergirl is a follow-up to Superman or Peacemaker was a follow-up to Superman. It's just the next story, which happens to have Superman in it. Now, context clues being what they are, the images that were dropped yesterday,
yes,
were from 3, which I absolutely adored. By the way, we joke about them just being dropped on a random Wednesday, but to use comic art
as that
to represent,
it's such a beautiful. Just again, what James Gunn has done throughout this whole saga, as you put it, is that he's given credit to the creators, the writers, the storytellers, and to have some of the big bombshells, the big hitters of DC Comics. It's such a nice thing to do, to have comics be a tool to spread news about a character that is just all about comics. So yeah, I think it was 5 o'clock here in the UK when all that image drops, and then
I think it was right before lunch over here.
Have you got a favorite of the artwork that was delivered yesterday?
I'm partial to Jim Lee in so much, but I mean, when you've got Mitch and Hort, I mean, there were 3 heavy hitters there. I can't believe Dan Mora wasn't there as one of them as well, because I feel like they just lock him in a closet and make him draw Superman all day and all night. So I was shocked to not see his art, but it did show David Corenswet's Superman with obviously the Superman 2025 suit and
Mm.
S, and alongside Holt's Lex Luthor, but in the power suit, which is something that comic fans have wanted to see on the big screen for a long time.
We've always sort of had it in promo and almost fan casting and merchandise, but we've never really gotten that. And right now, we still haven't gotten that yet. But to have 3 different images with that iconic piece of comic history, that's what I think that you know, I hate to sort of say those diehard fans that are out there, but those fans that understand the power behind that suit and the potential that it could have for so many different stories. It was big. Yes, I love seeing Superman there in those bold, beautiful colors, but to see that suit as well next to Superman, it was so exciting.
I also like the just kind of the dichotomy of the juxtaposition of the three, because one of them seems to be very much, them shoulder to shoulder, albeit Superman holding the screwdriver and Jim Lee's art with the screws on the ground.
Yes.
One of them in flight together, and then one of them in battle together in flight. So, I mean, obviously, it's Lex and Superman. If they are doing some sort of team up, you can assume that it will be a weary one
Mm.
um, at that. But it will also be, to your point, in merchandise. This will be the first time ever we've actually gotten a Lex action figure of the power suit, and it actually happened, or theoretically happened, based
Yes.
on what we've seen from these images. Because other Lex actors have had power suits and toys that have never actually come to fruition, and
No.
then we did get one for this one. I think it was exclusive at Target stores of Holt in the power suit. So all the people that have bought theirs now feel very justified in having that figure. I'm sure over the last 24 hours.
It was a difficult one to even spot here in the UK. I mean, I've been going through some of my collection for variants of the power suit as well, and there's been a few. We've had a few fun ones over the years, but it's to see that again with Nicholas in it would be just wonderful. We know how he
Yeah,
looks in a well-fitting tailor suit, but to see him in that suit as well would be just wonderful. I'm sure they'd bring back
absolutely.
the whole 1A situation as well, but they'd bring that joke back around to get some more mileage out of it.
Now, I do believe though that this is going to be ensemble, or
Mhm.
maybe or maybe Holt starring. I don't know, or if they've got um, co-leads in this. If David and Nicholas do it, it
I
makes me
wouldn't be
weary
mad.
for no, but it does make me sad for Rachel.
Mhm.
I don't like that she was not part of the announcement yesterday. Um, I've not been happy with her social media interactions, not hers, but ones against her here as of late. And I don't
Mm.
know if that had anything to do with it or not, but we've been on the internet. You and I remember when the internet wasn't a thing, so now we know how horrible the internet can be
Yes.
at this stage in life. But I don't like glossing over her for a David Nicholas um, buddy cop team up or whatever we're going for here, because I think I still feel a little left out because of how much the Planet team and Rachel were used in marketing that I feel like didn't end up happening on screen for the movie for whatever reason. And I want her to have all her flowers as Lois, because she was one of the best parts of
Mm.
the film. I can't imagine a Superman Lex Luthor movie that doesn't have Lois Lane in it. I know Hollywood Reporter I saw did confirm that she would star. And then we saw other people yesterday say, like, see you soon. Other people that were in Superman posted some things. So there's some hints there that other
Yeah.
characters may be coming.
Did you see the Grant Gustin moment?
Saw Grant Gustin sharing it. Isabella shared it and said, see you soon.
Yeah.
A few others, our new Green Lanterns,
Mhm.
made a post about it as well. So I do feel like we're going to be assembling something that's going to have to involve multiple characters to
Yes.
team up against an uneasy alliance against something, whatever that may be. But I do hope that we don't forget our team players from, whether it is a Superman sequel or not. I hope we don't forget our team players from this summer's film because they all did such wonderful jobs.
I mean, it's, again, the world is still talking about this film. I was a little bit sad that it didn't get a longer cinema run and then it came straight to streaming. If that has something to do with the build up to, this new Peacemaker season, who knows? I think you and I have both seen 5 episodes now that we got to watch earlier on. And James Gunn has been very vocal, saying that the last few episodes were his favorites, and not many people know what happens in them. So
particularly 6 and 8.
Yes. So, we can probably expect cameos at this point, or we can expect something big to happen. Season 1 certainly did fantastically. It was such a brilliant and new way to have a character's story told through that medium. And the episodes that we've seen, we can't talk about some of them without spoiling too much. I had so much fun watching them. And I just got lost in my own thought then because I was thinking about a scene that I don't think has aired just yet.
Gotcha.
I was like, can we talk about that yet? Or
I've been basing things off what we've seen in the trailers because I do feel like if it's in the trailer, it's fairly fair game to discuss.
Yeah. There was a big list of things in my sort of contract
embargo.
Before watching, about what we really can't talk about.
Yeah,
and one of them being the opening dance sequence, which I thought was a bit interesting.
Because people love it so much.
They do. So don't mention that.
There is a part in the coming weeks trailer where Rick Flag Sr. says, "Get me to Belle Reve. I need to talk to a inmate there." So whether or not that's Luthor, one could assume, there's been so much talk on that show about the Metropolis incident and opening, doors to other universes and stuff like that. But we also see Otis and Sydney in the trailer. Talking to Rick Flag, and I know I saw them maybe 12 times in theaters, but the other individual that's at the Pentagon with Rick seems to be in the trailer as well, and I have forgotten his name. So I do think it is going to be, and Gunn has said many times now, you don't have to watch everything and good, because children need not be watching Peacemaker.
Please don't.
I'm not really sure I needed to be watching Peacemaker. I didn't feel old enough in a few of those moments.
No, yeah, I was watching that, and the wonderful girlfriend was sat next to me. I had my headphones on, and she was like, "What are you watching?" I was like, "I was just a show about heroes."
The news.
Don't worry about it. It's fine. I think I paused it on probably the most inappropriate pause screen as well. But there we go. But still, it's a fantastic series to watch.
This isn't British Bake Off. What is this?
Definitely not British Bake Off. But somebody probably got the golden handshake for that. Anyway. But yeah, great series. Again, great soundtrack. It's James Gunn's mind brought to life. It really is. It's got everything that he loves.
For better or worse.
Yeah, references, music, everything in between as well. It's been fun to, I think, rewatch it again because you've already seen these episodes, but to see how other people react to it as well, and the love that definitely James Gunn and the whole cast and crew are getting for this series. It's doing very, very well, and it's fantastic to see.
Now, what if we're going to assume this isn't a Superman sequel? It's just a film starring Superman. What do you want to see? Because we know what source material this film, this most recent film, is it off in theaters there? Is it gone?
It's gone. Yeah,
I can still see it here.
All right. Okay.
I'm hoping one more time, and then
just to send off in a blaze of glory.
I don't want to end on Unlucky 13.
Oh no, I don't blame you. No, don't do that.
I need a nice round closing number to end on.
Yeah.
So 14 theatrical sounds
that works.
Pathetic, but it's
it's still very, very admirable. It shows, we're still getting those comments of, "Oh, you're such a shill." I was like, "No, we are paying for these tickets. Thank you very
No, I've spent way too
Wait.
much money this summer to be a shill.
With all the popcorn buckets there behind me and all the." So one thing I didn't get was an actual ticket stub. I didn't get an actual ticket
At
stub.
all?
At all. It was all digital. The only ticket stub that I have
You've got the premiere one.
technically,
Yeah.
but one that I do have, and I think it's the same one that you've got, is right here behind me.
Is
Placed
that your
carefully.
premiere one?
So I'm knocking stuff off the shelves of steel. So we've got this one here. It wasn't that one. This was the London premiere for Man of Steel. I wasn't there either. That was classic eBay back in the day. But I have the same tickets that you got. I wasn't there for your screening. Boy, would I have loved to have been there with you to experience that. But
Me too, sir. Me too.
good friend the wonderful Fahim sent me those ones. But these are the only physical tickets that I have for the Superman movie. I've got digital receipts.
Well,
but
I mean, if you're gonna have some, those are the ones.
They're
to
not
have.
a bad one to have.
I put all mine in the Daily Planet box.
It's the best one. It's the best one.
That's where all the tickets went for all time, including the premiere tickets.
That one didn't make it to UK cinemas. I was like, really? It's that one and the Crypto with the popcorn bucket, which was fun. But that is my definite favorite one there. That's the one.
He's a good boy.
He's a very good boy.
He's a good boy.
He's a very good boy. So yes, I'm getting over that bombshell that it might not technically be a Superman sequel because I'm hearing that for the first time. What could it be then? Is it going to be just, as you said, it could be a team up? It could be what? A Lex origin story?
Panic in the Sky.
Really?
No, I don't know. I could see them doing that. I was thinking of stories that involved Lex, that involved Superman, that involved people like Metamorpho and Guy Gardner, and I was like, 92's Panic in the Sky. That's a good one. But the villain of that one is Brainiac. There are rumors circulating, I've seen since yesterday, that Supergirl and Lobo could be in this too, after the events of Supergirl. I don't want to believe any rumor 24 hours out from images being posted that aren't even real, that are just art, that aren't anything. We have a date and a film title, which we haven't even said the date yet. July 9th, 2027.
What day is that? Let me just check.
Oh, it's going to be a Friday, I'm sure.
One would hope.
We don't usually do Wednesday drops for tentpole films anymore. That's not normally a thing.
Yeah, it's a Friday
these days. Very close to the Batman Part 2.
Yeah,
we've never had Superman Batman standalone films released in the same year before. I think the closest we've ever gotten was Returns and Begins being out less than a year apart, both June 05 and June of 06.
Yeah, there's a fair amount of speculation about that going on. Lots of red string theories going on about it, but
I am not of either camp on that. You and I have not discussed this. I'm not of either camp on that. If they want to bring Pattinson into the DCU, fine. I think you've got to do a whole lot of heavy lifting to do that. I don't think it's just okay, he's here now. Like, there's got to be some world building there to mix the two, because that did seem very laser focused on him and Gotham and not the world at large. Not that you can't undo that or redo that, I guess, or retcon it, but as a Superman fan, as a DC Comics fan, and yes, as a Batman fan, not a huge one, but I was really hoping for a live action, fantastical, crazy villain Batman for once, that we, even with Keaton, it's still kind of grounded in its own right. And there's
too much, as you said, mystical and big over the top villains. We've had that with the Joker though, and we of course with Bane, but as you said, it's more just criminal masterminds, as it were. We want We want the ones just absolutely ripped from the comic book pages of Batman's rogue gallery, because there are so many fantastic ones there to use.
Yeah, I think the closest you could say is Batman. I think you could even make the argument that Batman Forever is a little bit more grounded than Batman and Robin is. So maybe Batman and Robin's the closest we've gotten to those kind of
Possibly.
fantastical elements
Yes.
for a live action Batman. So that's neither here nor there, but could that, be part of what happens here with this? I'm hoping by 2027 we know whether or not
I can't wait that long. I really can't. After
it's
eating so well, we can't go back to crumbs again. We need more information. We
and
need more
it's
guarantees.
yeah, we need more guarantees. And I mean, it's crazy, man. Even if it's not a Superman sequel, less than 2 years to get to another movie starring him. And whether or not he's in Peacemaker or shows up in something between now and then, or if we do see him in a cameo in Supergirl the way we saw, her in his film there at the end. Just the fact that we're not going to have to wait too long. And 2 years seems like nothing when we've gone, 19 years without.
We can just watch that film now on loop. We can watch it in different languages and learn some new dialect. We could do all the things now. But the fact
Well,
that
I mean, from the time that film was announced to being released, I mean, we've already, passed
we've
the
lived
gamut on
1,000
that. So
lives.
that's exactly
We
right.
have
That's
lived
exactly right.
1,000 lives. We've jumped off buildings. We've been on red carpets. We've done so much, Derek.
Things have happened.
It's more about the friends we made along the way, as you
That's
say.
right. Well, I think that's what I said the other night. They kept calling it
Perfect.
the untitled Super Family sequel, and I said maybe the real untitled Superman family sequel is the friends we made along the way.
Perfectly put.
So what do you want to see happen though? If we're not getting a Superman 2, maybe we never get a Superman 2. I don't know. I
I want it. Don't get me wrong. There's still. Are we ever going to get that solo Superman movie again, or have those days gone? Are we at that
I think those days are gone.
that
At
generation now?
at least for this iteration, for this generation, it is.
I think so. It's having that one hero. Can we focus all of our attention on one hero for just 2 hours? Is that too much storytelling? But just seeing the excitement for it yesterday and having my phone buzz every time James Gunn posts anything now, I get a notification filling me with excitement and sometimes dread about what it might
Yeah.
be. But now, just to have the world so excited about Superman still makes me so happy. From that moment when we had both seen the film and were so excited to talk about it, and then to have people react the same way and us to have our we weren't just biased about the fact that we love this hero, but to see a whole world of fans come out of the woodwork and to have new fans it's been beautiful. And we got a bit more of that excitement yesterday when that news was announced. Now, whatever news that may be, people are still excited for this hero now. People are still wanting more Superman. And that's the thing that I'm still not over. It still makes me so happy and proud to be a Superman fan that people are rooting for our home team again. But it's gives us not added pressure, especially the writers and the creators, but us as fans to keep, singing the praises of this hero and this franchise and this legacy of storytelling. So if we didn't get another Superman film straight away, yes, I'd be sad. But to have Superman back and for James Gunn's first film to be such a success with Superman front and center, that can never be taken away. And that for me is a wonderful thing for us to have witnessed. But Swift Man of Tomorrow's could be based around just Lex Luthor. I've always wanted a Lex origin story film. He's a fantastic villain. He's got fantastic younger days that have never really been touched upon.
I said, I don't remember if you and I said this in our episode we did after the film or not. I was very shocked after watching the movie the first time that Lex got put away at the end of the film so
Mm.
quickly, just out of the gate. We've already taken one of our biggest antagonists,
Yeah.
not really off the board, but I expected a way out for him at the end of it, some kind of haha. I had a backup plan or an escape or something. So whether or not he shows up in Peacemaker or Superman shows up in Peacemaker, if this is a Lex that has been incarcerated for 2 years at the start of this film,
Mm.
yes, it's going to be an uneasy alliance, or
Yeah.
whether or not it's, him released into Superman's custody or whatever. I I go back to the fact though that while I do love Nicholas's Lex, this is the first time I've ever really gotten to hate a Lex before
Yes.
because you love Lex. You love Lex. I mean,
We
you love Rosenbaum's Lex. You love Hackman's Lex, and this one you just want to choke this Lex because of he he tortured a dog last week.
I think
Jesus
going back to it,
Christ.
yeah, that was the thing about this particular Lex Luthor was, wow, this is, as you say, this is finally a Lex Luthor that I don't really want to kind of just, boys will be boys and Lex
Right.
will
I
be
mean, he
Lex.
killed Molly. I don't. We don't need to be
It was
praising him in any stretch
no,
of the
not at
imagination.
all.
But I mean, at the same time, this is very much a Lex comic thing. To do evil, to get away with it in some capacity, and then become president. I wonder where that people got that idea from. But I so I don't want a glorification of
No.
a Lex Superman team up in the next movie because I do think he needs to be held responsible for his
Mm.
actions at all times, and I'm sure that this Superman is not going to let him be uh, doing that sort of behavior that grandstands him in any way. But that there is that Lex that does those same things in the comics that kills people and still becomes president of the United
Yeah.
States by duping the American public. So, um, whether or not that's what happens here, I think everybody's go-to assumption is this is going to be Brainiac.
Yeah.
I think everybody kind of thought Brainiac was going to be the cliffhanger of this film this summer. So I think that's a go-to thing. Obviously, we've seen Superman and Lex team up against Brainiac before. Panic in the Sky being one of those instances.
Mhm.
Um, Again, Guy Gardner, Rex is in there, Hawk Girl's in there, I think. Yeah, so
I think
there's
so.
there's
There's definite
pieces on the
potential.
board that
Yeah.
yeah, potential.
But again, it's speculation right now, but it's fun to do that now that we have seen what was capable with the Superman film and
Mhm.
the surprises that came along with it. So it's when the fan bases are not just talking negatively about something. It's so nice to see everyone, well, not everyone, but the parts of the internet that we want to be associated with
Right.
are talking so joyfully about the future of Superman, even though it's 2 years away. We've not had anything official from Supergirl yet, apart from a couple of images and the cameo at the end of the film. So we don't know where we're going with that right yet, and we've not had so many other things. It's scary and exciting at the same time.
That's right. That's right. And I think of how much we speculated for the last 2 years about what we ended up getting this summer, and we got a lot of things right. We got a lot of things wrong between the two of us.
We did. Just going from that first official image of Superman putting on his boots and that entity in the background, there were so many YouTube video essays about what that
Mhm.
possibly could be and why Superman wasn't saving everybody and going out there and dealing with it. We were so wrong. And I'm sure James Gunn, whilst all that was going on, was just sitting back and probably drinking his cup of cocoa with Ozu by his side, just cackling at all the wrong answers that people were coming up with.
I mean, in hindsight, I know a lot of people have been like, "That was the worst image to use." I mean, it got people talking.
Yeah.
You could use a traditional image of, well, I'd say of a shirt rip, but I guess that wouldn't work for this movie. But you could use a more traditional Superman unveiling image,
Exactly.
then and get the response you would expect to get, or you could do something like this and get 4,000 YouTube thumbnails of what does this mean and who is that in the background, and it just ended up being a nice, pretty light show for one of the most romantic scenes in the whole movie at the end of the day.
And that one is one of the scenes that I can easily go back and watch on repeat for the
It's my
music,
favorite.
for the
It's
tone,
my favorite scene of the whole movie. It really
even
is.
playing with no sound, it's still just as soothing. I think it's that one that just gets me each and every time. It's that
Yep.
scene. It's Clark in his boyhood bedroom, and it's the scene at the very end when they are in that fantastic mall. It's there are many scenes that get me, but visually, that moment in, you know, that apartment and everything before it and after it, I want to watch that scene over and over again.
Something else that has come out today that I've not seen talked about anywhere, so I'm not gonna call this an exclusive, but, we
Okay,
can we can run with it as one,
of course.
that my buddy, Kevin sent me, that, so much of this film this summer was shot in Cleveland and in Atlanta and very American grown. Obviously, Superman is a very American character
Hmm.
and treated as such, but there have been comments from Gunn, over the past couple of years about shooting more, internationally for subsequent films. And, Production Weekly had a listing for Man of Tomorrow,
Okay,
this morning. Uh, Begin shooting May 2026
where?
in the UK.
Okay, might have to
That doesn't mean the whole
move,
thing's gonna be shot in the UK. That doesn't mean that, we aren't gonna have the same Daily Planet from Atlanta, or,
but
the streets, in Cleveland be utilized again, but, we've obviously seen superhero movies before where they've established cities in one place and then moved them to another, like Batman
mhm,
Begins and then to The Dark Knight or, stuff like that, so
yeah, I'm just packing up and moving to Leavesden. It's a very nice part of the world, so there we go.
Yes, yes. Nice Warner lot there. So who
Yes,
knows if that's the case or not. Again, Production Weekly isn't always 1,000% right, but the fact that it was announced yesterday and then there was a listing for it today for a start date of production of May
yeah,
2026,
mm,
which gives them another year
yes,
of shooting, and but I would also assume with in a movie where Lex is wearing a power suit that you're going to need a lot more effects heavy stuff in this movie than you probably did. The Superman was probably going to be a lot more characters flying in uh, this movie than versus the other. If we've got Supergirl back, if Guy and Hawkgirl and Mister Terrific are returning, if Lex
I
is
hope
flying
so.
around, so
Flying around
um,
without being, dragged around by Crypto maybe, just
that's right.
actual flying, yeah.
That's right.
I'm
That's
sure
right.
he will
And
want some vengeance for that as well, so we can look
I'm
forward to that too.
and I can only assume. I don't know why one of the images did not feature crypto, but I mean, well, I don't know. We do have Woman of Tomorrow to get through, don't
Mhm.
we? But surely crypto makes a return appearance in Man of Tomorrow, right?
I mean, you would hope so for the
It's
amount
money on the
of
table.
yes, and that's the thing. I think people would be upset if we didn't get that again because I think it's what brought a lot of people to the cinema. The fact that, "Oh, he's got a dog. Sign me up. Let's do
Hmm.
this." I think, one of the biggest things that come out of this film was that so many dogs were rescued in America. I love
Absolutely.
that. That was such a great outcome for if anything for this film, it made people not only fall back in love with Superman, but it made people want to rescue dogs, and that's not a bad thing at all, is it?
Nope, not at all. Um, so just very early thoughts, inclinations, out of the gate. Like we said, or a little over 24 hours out from the announcement. We don't know what to expect.
We don't, which is
But
which is fun.
we made mountains out of molehills for 2 years. We can do it again.
We've been doing this for decades, Derek. We know
Yes,
how to
yes.
do this. As you said,
This is
you put it so beautifully that, we've been eating crumbs for so long that now it often feels like that moment in Hook when all that food just appears out of
yeah.
nowhere. That's what we have now. But it's enough, but we still want maybe a little bit of pudding to go along with it.
We gotta get through Supergirl. We got
I know.
Supergirl. We've got 5 episodes left of Peacemaker. We've got
Yes.
Clayface.
It's coming
So
thick and fast. It really
it
is.
is, and it's crazy to think that we waited so long for a cohesive, universe that it's finally
It's here.
here.
It's here.
And
And I
I do wonder about the timing of some of this. What the implementation of Superman coming to digital, like you mentioned, faster than before. Gunn said yes because Peacemaker was going to air in September, but now it was airing in August, so they wanted to move that up to to give you the next story if you were following along. He even said a minute ago, and I think this is just him being Gunn, but he posted a picture from tonight's, or I guess it was last week's Peacemaker, but he posted a picture from Peacemaker and said, "Catch an all-new episode of the Man of Tomorrow prequel series, Peacemaker."
was like, is that a typo? Did he mean to do that?
Nah,
Of course he meant
that's
to do it.
yeah,
He's
of
the
course
king
he
of
meant to do
marketing.
that. Yes.
One of the
Yeah.
not only the hardest working people in show business, but is just so crafted with it as well. You can see that he's having fun each time he's allowed access to his phone, thinking, "What can I post now?"
Mhm.
It's a
I just
very
don't
fun game of
I
chess.
don't yeah, watch the Man of Tomorrow prequel, aka Peacemaker season 2, airing a new episode tonight on HBO Max. And then he has also just said, someone asked, "How much portion of Man of Tomorrow have you completed writing?" And he said, "All of it. I'm now in the necessary and lengthy stage of rewriting and rewriting some more, but it's been a lot of fun." So the man has already gotten his script down for this film. I guess that's why it's okay to announce it at that point. He said
Yeah.
he wouldn't announce anything till he, that they wouldn't start filming on
Mhm.
anything till they were happy with the script. So now they've got what, 5, 7, 8 months till filming. If the Production Weekly
Yeah.
chart is true and it is May 2026, they're going to be right back in the thick of this before too much longer. So
Yes. So yeah, time to start avoiding set photos once again, Derek. We're
yes.
going to be back where we were before. What
Right back where
fun!
I know Michael Bailey, I haven't talked to him about it yet, but I did see one of his videos last night, and he was like, "I'm excited, but I'm tired. We just," and I think about how much you and I have done
Yes.
this summer, and yeah, I'm exhausted. And I've been thinking, okay, well, Supergirl's, a little way away. We get a little reprieve. Yes, we've got this nice little Peacemaker here in the middle, but at least we've gotten a little bit of
But
reprieve, and I feel like we're just starting right back from
there's
scratch now.
we are because it won't be long now until the physical media gets released. We've also got the art of the film book coming out. There's more
Hmm.
things to dive into there. I'm sure.
Yeah, we haven't even seen those deleted scenes yet.
No. And we've seen images of how much creativity goes into these films of James Gunn's storyboards and writing and those absolute boxes of storyboarding and artwork that he had in his office. So there's always more stuff out there. And James Gunn doesn't do podcasts that often, but recently he's
Mm-mm.
been doing a lot. And he's been made sure to share the right amount of information, but to get people invested in the future of these characters. And I think now, yes, some people wanted to see the film because they didn't want that FOMO, as it were. They wanted
Right.
to see what all the buzz was about. Even the people that weren't really for this film wanted to see what was happening. And some of that particular group of people that didn't want this film to happen have been turned around. And actually, this is a fun part of Superman's story. So it's people have said that this film and James Gunn's work ethic needs to be studied. And I couldn't agree with that more because he's one of those hardest working people. But you can see the enjoyment that not only he gets out of it, but the people that work with him. And it's why he gets the same people back. It's not necessarily, Nepo friends, as it were.
No,
It's
not
this
at
the
all.
crew that he's taken along for the journey with him.
It'd be the exact same way with me. If I were in that position, I would use the people that
Yes,
made my job easier and made me look good in the process.
exactly.
Absolutely. And that's what he's doing here. And I don't know why he gets flack for it when other people do the exact
Exact
same
same.
thing,
Exact same
more
thing.
often than not. But I've really um, appreciate his craft when it comes to how serious he is behind the
Mhm.
scenes on getting it's just the fact that he's already written another script. Whenever he started working on it, I don't know. But the fact that he was bouncing back and forth between Superman and directing Peacemaker when they were in Atlanta, being right there together, that he was writing Peacemaker, during the Superman of it all. He's had time to think about what's coming. And so, that makes things a whole lot easier, I think, especially when you are the co-chief of the studios, that you don't have to sit through well, what if we did this and what if we tried this, and giving you notes back on stuff and stuff like that. You don't have those hoops to jump through. So it's quite a new kind of ideal in Hollywood almost to have him at the forefront of his own projects, but also getting to shepherd these other ones that he's not writing and directing. It's a pretty sweet spot to be in, I would think.
I think so. And again, we've got an exciting future ahead of us. It's going to be stressful. It's going to be filled with anxiety yet again. Each time we get a notification that the official Superman page posts anything new, or DC Comics, or James, or who knows, maybe even more from the wonderful cast and crew at the Daily Planet.
Absolutely. I'd love to see more of them. Luke, I could talk about Superman all day with you, and we have, but we'll have to save more for when we know more. Otherwise, we're just spinning wheels at this point. Tell our listeners, as always, where they can find you.
Just search for Luke Bugg, the Geek of Steel, and you will find this furry face. There's podcasts, there's videos, there's reviews and interviews, and if there is ever new Superman news released that is, legit, you and I love to share that and share it with all the wonderful people around the world as well. And it's something that brings us a lot of joy. We've done it for decades now, and I think the future is not going to slow down for us.
No, not at all. Thank you again. If you're looking for us, you can find the House of L wherever you get your podcasts from, including our website, superhouseofl.com. We've got a new episode of Peacemaker coming tonight, and you can also find our new coverage of that just as the episode drops. William and I will have a new episode for Peacemaker. We've also got another Superman cast member episode coming to you this weekend, and several things lined up. So we're the movie may be out, but we're still chugging along here, and we're a week away from Salute to Smallville at this point. Next Friday in Chicago, I'm hosting the second annual event alongside my co-host Craig Byrne from Krypton Site. So excited to be representing the show and being on stage with the cast yet again. This is, as of last night, we had another cast announcement. I think this is the last one. So in my head, this is the largest accumulation of Smallville cast and guest members ever together at a convention for the show. So very excited.
Very excited for you, because you need to make sure that selfie happens. You need to recreate that Ellen magic and get everybody in behind you in that shot, because that is an impressive feat. Well done for being a part of that.
I'm so excited. It's last year was great, and I'm honored for Creation to have invited us back to host again. If you've been thinking about going, if you've been on the fence, let me assure you, it is worth it. I know, times the dollar stretches a little thinner than it did previously, but if you're looking for something to disassociate for a little while and bring you some happiness, you'll find no better place to do it than among this cast and these people that love this show, because it is a fantastic weekend. Head over to creationent.com. You can get your tickets, your autographs, book your autographs and your photo ops. And then, of course, Tom and Michael will be doing their Smallville Nights event on Saturday night that you can attend as well. So we will see you next time, Luke. Thank you again.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.